Yay, Ben, time for the podcast.
Theme music for the podcast. We don't actually have any theme music, so someone will probably make one up for us. I don't want to name any. Rachel. I hope it's Rachel that does that for the podcast.
Just resign myself to that fate.
Yeah, I think at this stage we're just going to have to accept that that's the music for
That's
the
the
podcast.
music for the podcast.
Yeah, that's what it is. Ben, we're back.
We've returned.
More people talking about things that they've half remembered.
We're very good at half remembering things, though.
Yeah, speaking of things that we've half remembered, did you remember to watch the trailer for... Is it called a trailer when it's a TV show?
Promo?
Promo?
Is that what we use?
Promo.
Promo.
Did you watch the promo for New Mutants?
I wasn't.
Wait,
New Mutants doesn't have a promo.
no, it doesn't, does it?
New Mutants doesn't have a promo. I believe you're
Hold
referring to...
on. Did you watch the promo for the New Mutants based TV? Oh, that's not good.
You saved yourself. Listeners, if you could give Michael a pass this time, he would appreciate that, because usually I mess up and he's just not ready to join me on this side.
I'm not on the ball today.
Okay? He's just not ready. So give him a chance.
Yeah,
okay? I think what Michael was referring to is the Gifted trailer, which is actually based on the New Mutants, so he's not entirely that wrong. Couple of announcements this week. The Gifted is going to be a new FX mutant thing, I'm guessing from the success of Legion.
Is it FX again?
I think it's FX again.
8 episodes?
I think so.
Our scientifically determined
perfect amount. And I think it's leading on from the success of Legion.
But will it be good though?
I don't think Fox cares. I think Fox looks at it as the way it's like, we get to hold on to the X-Men franchise, it's working, yay! I don't think they care.
I think you've mixed Fox and Sony up.
Is it Sony?
No, Sony are the ones who don't care.
Oh, Fox do occasionally try.
They try a little bit.
They
Come on,
do.
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
That was pretty good. And Lurgan
was awesome.
Yeah. And,
Lurgan was my favourite movie of 2016.
Yeah, about a town in Northern Ireland.
Yeah, Lurgan.
It's gotten old and lost its healing powers.
Stop putting mutants in camps. Stop rounding them up and cloning them. Give it over. Lurgan.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Is Lurgan... No, let's stop talking about Lurgan.
Okay. But no, in answer to your previous question, I did not watch the trailer because I watched the first maybe 30 seconds of it, and it was very mixy-uppy.
It's very generic, isn't it?
Very generic.
It's the genericest...
Very CW.
Yeah, but...
Mutants.
Do they say mutants? Oh, they do say mutants.
They do say mutants. In fact, we're going whole hog on the intertextuality and casual referencing of other franchises, because they're like, the X-Men, the I can't remember what the other school
Brotherhood.
is. The Brotherhood. We don't even know if they exist anymore.
So when's it set then?
We're just dropping it. I'm guessing it's around Logan time.
Oh.
I think it might be Logan time.
You think it's Logan time?
I think it's Logan time.
It's the future.
The future.
The near future.
The almost dystopic future.
Almost.
Dystopic?
Dystopian?
That would be better.
Isn't that the word?
That is better.
Speaking of, something we forgot to include in the notes. Speaking of...
We don't have notes. This is all spontaneous and off the cuff. Obviously,
because we've forgotten everything we were planning to say. Venom.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy is Venom.
Tom Hardy is Venom. Did not think Tom Hardy would take Venom.
Oh, what are they doing?
I think it could work. He's awful intense.
He's amazingly intense. But how are they what are they thinking?
Why are they making a Venom movie?
Why are they making a Venom movie not connected to Spider-Man?
And they haven't even introduced him yet.
But
it's not Spider-Man series.
But it's not in the MCU.
Yeah.
It's a Sony-only spin-off.
That's strange.
They're going to make Venom without Spider-Man.
That's strange. Do you think Tom Hardy didn't read the contract and didn't realise that it was Sony and not Marvel?
I'm Tom Hardy. I don't know how Tom Hardy speaks.
I'm not sure.
I'm not reading that contract. I'm going to be Venom. He just wants
an excuse to buff up again. He just wants to get jacked.
Look, I think that could be absolutely spectacular, because let me paint you a picture. I see what you did there. Let me paint you a picture here. Imagine you have Tom Holland Spider-Man, who's this little geeky kid, and I don't know if don't know if they're gonna lean into the photography thing in Spider-Man Homecoming.
They should.
Because it's
be
kind
Instagram
of...
based,
Yeah.
shouldn't it?
Yes.
He'd be a social media manager of some kind.
Yes.
For the Daily Bugle.
But then, imagine if you have him, right? And he's a photographer, and he starts making waves because he's taking pictures of Spider-Man.
Sure.
And then you have Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock losing out his photography job to
this little snot with a smartphone.
to Tom Holland. Oh, intensity. Explosion of intensity. That would be
also
stunning.
Tom has some serious possession issues and he needs to let that go.
I know.
That's
Oh, it would be...
We could make it work. I'm just really afraid that Tom Holland would be too afraid to act with him.
That's exactly what you want.
Intense.
Like, compared with the bloody misstep of that 70s guy.
Topher Grace.
The world's least intimidating man.
Topher Grace.
That's him.
Who has played Eric Foreman from that 70s show in everything since.
Yeah.
Moody Eric Foreman, humorous Eric Foreman.
Eric Foreman possessed by an alien symbiote, Eric Foreman.
Oddly enough, not the least popular Eric Foreman.
No. But, I mean, imagine Tom Hardy. Imagine, I wouldn't want to piss Tom Hardy off.
No,
And then, I probably would.
Still, you'd think twice about it.
Tom Hardy, if you're listening to this, you're a real dickhead.
I don't think he is.
But if he is...
I think he's well known as all.
If he is, you're a real dickhead.
Anyway.
And your movies are reasonably good sometimes, but often...
A lot of the time.
Often not as good.
A lot of the time.
But yeah, could you imagine how terrifying Tom Hardy would be for Tom Holland?
Just awful.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Just so intense.
But they're not going to do it. They're going to ruin it instead.
They're going to Sony it up. Sony all over it.
What other trailers and stuff was there?
Don't know.
Oh, there was the actual New Mutants thing.
Yes, sorry. So this may have led to some of the confusion. The New Mutants movie has been announced, starring someone that the MCU universe already knows, but quite well.
Me?
No, they didn't call me this time. They just forgot to. I'm on the list. No, Rosario Dawson is set to star.
I believe it's the lovely Rosario Dawson.
Sorry, the lovely Rosario Dawson. Yeah, if Rosario Dawson wants to come on the podcast, she doesn't even have to sponsor it. You just let us know.
Shh, Zoe Saldana could be listening, Ben.
Both of you can come on the podcast. There's not a lot of room
in the tiny room.
In our tiny room, but for you, we'd probably be booked somewhere.
There's not a lot of room, but there is a moth.
There's a moth flying over my head.
Ben is distracted like a cat. He's just swatting at it.
Oh.
Yeah, and also, what's her face? You know, your one from that movie that I like, Split. Anya Taylor-Joy.
I don't know her.
She's pretty good.
She's pretty decent.
Yeah, she's pretty good. She really looks like magic.
Oh, so she's going to play Yelena Rasputin.
I wonder if she's going to do a Russian accent. I kind of hope not.
They kind of stay away from it these days. The only one I've seen go really heavy on the...
Go full Russian
was Deadpool. And they did it as kind of a parody. Their Colossus was kind of a joke.
But won't this magic be his sister?
Yeah.
If they're still connected.
But again, if we're doing realistic, representations of modern teenagers and stuff, she would be the sister that grew up on American TV and stuff like that. So they might just let her be American. There'll probably be a quip in there somewhere where one of the other New Mutants says, "Why don't you have an accent?" She goes, "It's 2017. I have the internet." And she'll strut off, do something like that.
I have the internet, bitch.
Be that. Yeah, exactly.
Because she's real gritty.
Because we'll just throw that in there, and then she'll have a big feck off sword.
Yeah, that'll be great. And Arya Stark is Wolfsbane.
No.
Have you not seen this news?
I haven't seen the news.
Oh, someone did concept art. I think it was...
I kind of like when you tell me the news, because it's like you get really animated and you're really excited. And I really feel like when I say that I have seen it, you're like...
Yeah,
oh.
I'm genuinely surprised.
Oh.
No, someone, I don't know, an official Marvel concept artist like Andy Parker or something. I don't think it was. But someone did...
Gave it a pass.
Anya Taylor-Joy and what's her name?
Not Natalie Dorman. Just the
the other one. Maisie Williams.
Ooh,
that's out of nowhere. That's not on a page.
Flash.
So someone did a little sketch of them as the characters, and it looked pretty convincing. Yeah,
nice. So we have Magic. We have
Magic. Wolfsbane.
Do we know who Rosario's given?
Not Storm.
would seem inappropriate.
Why?
She's not very Stormish, is she?
Is this about race?
No, not at all. She's more...
Well, she could shave a blonde mohawk or a white mohawk.
Oh, you think they're going to go mohawk?
They might.
That is how she was portrayed in the New Moon.
And it's kind of the hair Rosario Dawson had when she became famous, because that's what Gale looked like.
Sin City. Yeah, okay.
But she's not playing Storm.
You've sold me.
But I've sold you on something that doesn't exist.
Well, I just have to be disappointed with the real one then.
Kind of the point of this podcast, isn't it? Selling you.
Yeah. Why don't people do things the way we want them? We're better at this.
That might be what the podcast is called. Why don't people do things
the way we want them to do things?
What else? What else was there? American Gods.
American Gods, which I absolutely loved. Saw the first episode this week. Probably should be catching up more on that. I love mythology.
You do?
I love references to the past. I love storytelling in general. I love Neil Gaiman.
Let's do a throwback to episode 1, Ben. Why don't you tell me who even is Callie?
Who even is Callie? Callie is an Indian god of death.
Yeah, she's not in this though, is she?
Indian god of death. She's not. No, it's
It's Bilquis.
Bilquis, who is Egyptian, I think.
Bilquis
is the Egyptian goddess.
Is she?
I think so.
I don't know.
We'll have to find out.
Yeah,
I think Bilquis is Egyptian.
Just
could be African. Could be African, actually, now that I think about it.
I think she might be. I'm not sure.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
We should probably tell people that when we started this podcast, one of our highest running contenders for the name of the podcast was Men Misremembering Things.
And I really feel that we should revisit that at some point. If you do listen, leave us a comment.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think.
The reason that I brought up American Gods is that we got one of our rare tweets, and someone told me that I should check it out because it has an Irishman in space.
Really?
Well, not really in space.
It does have an Irishman.
It does. Well, does it though?
It's not a real Irishman.
No.
It's an American representation.
Is he Argentinian?
I know of an Irishman. No, the actual actor is the guy from Orange is the New Black. He's
never seen it.
You probably okay. I wouldn't worry.
Does it have superheroes in it?
To any of no.
Never seen it.
You don't watch it.
Never seen it.
Mick is actually Mick has only existed for the last 15-17 years. He came into being spontaneously when superhero movies and content started being made.
X-Men 1.
And he really needs it to continue existing.
No, hold on. You're going to step on my bit. I'm going to talk about that later. No. You're stepping on my bit.
Okay. I'm going to back away from the bit. We really need to start doing group focus testing on the bits. I can't. I just keep stepping on your bits.
Don't step on my bits.
Don't step on my bits. Alright, I was going to make a quick joke about him being like Jack Frost and he only comes alive when children believe in him. But it's super gross. So, yeah.
It's very good, though.
I thought, visually, it's very abrasive. It's like, whoa. There's a lot going on. But I think it's amazing. But it's just a lot to contend with. They really lean quite heavily into CGI, but it works incredibly well for the show that it is. They really kind of... I didn't know whether they'd go near, because Neil Gaiman does quite abstract imagery and stuff like that in his...
Specificalize me.
Well, for example, there are lots of dream sequences and visions.
Flashbacks.
He's very good at leaving things unsaid and expecting you to pick up on things from the imagery. So there's the huge Yggdrasil tree from Norse mythology. There's a buffalo-headed god with flaming eyes. There's a bone orchard, which is what the name of the first episode is, the Orchard of Bones or the Bone Orchard, one or the other. But they actually just lean into that wholeheartedly and go with it and use CGI to render it quite well.
In minor spoilers, but not really spoilers, but tiny spoilers, I remember reading the book, and the twist that really got me was who Mr. Wednesday really was.
I know, it's nice.
And I mean, it's so obvious. When you know it, it's so obvious. But it takes you a while. But bloody hell does it take you a while. And I think that's one of the best... Because it's not hidden. It's just there. It's there. In the book the whole time. And I think it's the same in the show. Having watched it with a kind of semi-genre fan.
Yeah, they don't give it to you 100%. But like Neil Gaiman is just better at mythology than most people. He's incredibly well-versed in mythology and knows exactly what he can do.
Did you ever go back and watch that episode of Supernatural again? With basically the same setup?
I didn't go back.
Because that to me was like a stepping stone, that episode. It was halfway between the book and now we're...
I think someone was like, ooh, that's a good book. I'm going to use that. That's how I'm going to earn my bread this week.
Oh, it was good. It's a good show. It's a very good show.
Well, the new one is amazing.
I'm a bit deeper in than you, I think. I've seen 3.
Damn it.
What did you think of Guardians of the Galaxy? Oh, what's this now? You still haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy?
Maybe.
Oh, nice. Great. Podcast cancelled.
It's just... You're just so invested in me. I don't understand.
I've seen it 4 times now.
What?
I haven't. I was just drawing a reaction out of you.
Why didn't you invite me? I'd actually go if I had someone to go with.
Oh,
really sad.
Poor sad Ben.
All my friends think that superheroes are gay. Not as in a homosexual slur, just like,
Oh no, poor friends.
Their words, not mine.
Yeah, well done, Ben. Oh, since you've already said something slightly off colour, let's go on to one of our most popular segments.
Ben, he got something wrong, and now he's gonna admit that he got it wrong. It's Ben's Retractions. Ben's Retractions.
Yes. No, really, in Ben's Retractions, though, we did have a tweet.
We did have a tweet.
We had a real tweet from...
We had a tweet from...
The Rachel bot.
The Rachel bot. Don't know who that is at all. But she very kindly pointed out that I may have misremembered who wrote quite an important Irish play. And that quite important Irish play is The Playboy of the Western World.
Hugh Hefner.
Who is the quintessential Playboy of the Western world. However, before Hugh Hefner was born, maybe not before he was born, maybe the year of his birth.
Hugh Hefner's pretty old. He's pretty old.
In 1907, this play was aired here.
He's not that old. He's not 110.
He might be.
Did you just say the play was aired?
Aired, I did. Sorry, I'm thinking the wrong speak. The play was first performed here, and it was written by not George Bernard Shaw, as I mistakenly attributed. It was written by J.M. Singh, who is quite a famous playwright in his own.
Is he connected with Sing Street?
Yes, it's named after him, as far as I know.
The school.
Yeah, the
street,
not the movie, the actual street, which is Synge Street.
But have you seen that movie?
There is a movie,
and it's set in that street.
It's set in that street. I think it's set near that school. There's a school
set in that
called
school.
the Sing School.
I suppose I have a tiny retraction.
Oh,
a tiny retraction.
Okay,
because I said that Garth Ennis might be from Bray.
Oh, he's not.
He's definitely not. He's from Northern Ireland.
Oh, okay. I said that, I think.
You did say that, yeah. But no, you'll notice that I said that he might be from Bray, but he definitely isn't.
I'm far more of a jump in 2 feet first kind of guy, so that's why we have this segment. We don't have mixed retractions.
He was actually waiting outside at the end and told me last week.
Oh, okay. Well, he probably heard. He's fairly, he's got his listening equipment on and stuff like that. He likes to be, Hi Garth. He's just outside there. He's playing with Ed.
Still hanging out there.
He's playing with Ed.
Ed is my cat, by the way. It's not a child.
He'll be worked in as an Irishman's parody in the next Dennis venture.
A ginger cat.
Ed the ginger cat with an alcohol and cigarette addiction.
What else was there? Oh, there was news. There was other news.
Oh yeah, there's quite a significant bit of news this week. Zack Snyder, who I quite often make fun of in the podcast, is actually stepping down from the big DCU franchise, Justice League and other films, because he's had a horrible tragedy in his family.
Tragedy.
A horrible tragedy in his family. So that's
pretty bad.
It's awful. I don't have any jokes on that.
But Joss Whedon's stepping in.
Joss Whedon is stepping in, who has also been featured and mocked by me on this podcast several times.
They've teamed up.
They heard about me, and they're like, we're going to sort that guy. We're going to get him.
I would love if the entirety of the Justice League movie was just to stick it to you. Snyder and Whedon.
I think Donald Trump's going to get involved at some point. I don't like him. Let's get rid of him, guys. There's the budget. Do what you need.
I can't do it.
Get him.
All my impressions sound the same. I'm not even going to try. I'm depressed now because I can't do Donald Trump.
It's okay. I have a retraction segment. I get to do accents.
It's fine. Apparently, this has been going on for a long time. So even though they're saying with utmost commitment, Snyder has laid down the vision. Not the Marvel character, the Vision, not Mr. Stark, we have to stop. What's that? What was that voice I was doing?
Mr. Stark, the suit's not ready.
Yes,
that kind of thing.
He's laid it down, everything's ready to go. Joss isn't going to be changing anything or adding his style to it.
But But
Yeah.
the way I read it,
Yeah.
been around for a while.
Yeah.
Joss has been around for a while. He's done some reshoots,
Oh.
done some rewrites.
So you think that Joss Whedon has secretly directed this whole movie?
I don't think he's secretly co-directed the whole movie.
Oh.
I don't think they're going to remove Schneider anytime soon. Well, I don't think anything like that, but I think he's had a much bigger influence than... Which is interesting. I really thought Marvel would have an issue with that.
Yeah, right?
But they don't.
They don't seem to care.
They don't seem to... Maybe they can't care. Maybe he's just too... Because I don't know if he's doing... Is he doing Infinity War? Is he directing Infinity War?
Russo brothers.
Oh, get in! This is the best news of my day.
No, it's bad.
Can't wait for Infinity War now. Russo brothers, who make the best Marvel movies, apart from Guardians of the Galaxy, which I think was a little bit better. But I think the Russo brothers make the better Marvel movies.
Well, I mean, Civil War is great.
Civil War is amazing. Captain America Winter Soldier was also very good.
It's very good.
Very good film.
Not as good as Avengers, though.
Wasn't it?
Okay, let's get down to it.
Wasn't it?
Let's get down to it.
For anyone that listens to the podcast with great loyalty and admiration, as one would listen to the podcast,
don't seek admiration.
I'm not seeking it. It's already there. It's already there. People love us. Please don't respond to that by showing me how much you don't love us. I am very fragile.
Leave us alone. We're emotionally
Gareth
weak.
is already kind of moving away from the house. If you listen, you'll remember that last week we had a little, or 2 weeks ago we had a little spat.
We did.
And the reason we had a hiatus is because
we haven't been
some
speaking.
things were said, some feelings were hurt. We retreated to our corners and we did some research.
Yeah, well, I didn't. I don't do research. I'm just going off the cuff.
I'm a little less spontaneous, I'm afraid.
Okay, let's do this. So we're going to talk about the Avengers, and I'm going to tell you why it is the best comic book superhero movie.
You're so wrong.
Stop, Ben. Let me do the lead-in.
No.
We said we're not going to talk over each other.
I lied. I broke my own rule. It was my rule and I broke it.
The Avengers is the best comic book superhero movie of all time, and always will be, and will never be replaced. And since I know that Ben is going to bring facts and issues and like themes and motifs and leitmotifs,
I like motifs
and all that stuff,
I'm a motif guy.
I'm going to counter him like all of the best politicians and religious leaders
By shouting me down.
No, I'm going to shout you down, and I'm going to use allegory and that other thing.
Populism?
No. Oh, I hadn't thought of populism.
Demonizing minorities?
Jesus Christ. Leave it alone.
I'm Irish, but it's not the right minority.
No, I'm going to use allegory and personal anecdotes. That's how I'm going to get you.
You're going to use You're going to use some homespun.
Yeah.
Homespun tales.
Let's start with allegories, right?
Okay.
I don't even know if I mean allegory.
Okay, hang on. First of all, time out quickly.
Okay.
Oh, I don't do research. I'm off the cuff. He just
I didn't.
panned backwards.
No, don't.
In his little Bible.
Don't ruin the magic of podcasts.
No, I'm not having that.
Okay,
I'm
so
not
look.
being the nerdy one.
Look, right? The other day, in preparation for this, I watched 2017's Guardians, or The Guardians. Have you ever heard of it? Have you seen it?
Is it the Russian?
It is exactly the
Russian parody?
It's not a parody. It was... I don't want to say Russia's attempt at making an Avengers type film, because that's not fair to Russia. It was some Russian studio's attempt at making an Avengers type movie. Now, there's a few things you have to say about it. First of all, $5 million US dollars, but dollar budget.
No joke.
So, no, but it's pretty low.
Yeah.
Like, they've done quite a lot with quite a limited amount of money. So,
which is good.
Anyway, this movie, it's basically but for the grace of Joss Whedon goes the Avengers.
Okay.
Right? So, we have a team. We have a team of characters. We have you seen the trailer?
I know. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about
So
now. I just wanted to confirm that was the name.
There are 4 characters, and the 4 characters are... I actually discovered my Russian is a bit rusty.
So is mine.
So I missed out on... When I was watching, I missed out on a couple of things. Like, for example, they're all from different parts of Russia, And
which is probably significant.
Not really, actually. But their powers are kind of related to where they are. So there's an Armenian guy, and he's kind of religious, and he controls rocks, and his name is the Armenian Russian word for mountain.
Okay.
Right? But, I mean, he's essentially the last earthbender.
Okay.
Because he can just control rocks. He throws rocks around. So you've got the last earthbender, then you've got the Winter Soldier, but with Nightcrawler's powers.
Ooh, Russian teleporter.
He's a Russian teleporter ninja guy.
Bucky Wagner.
Bucky Wagner. That's your porn name, isn't it?
That is. Check it out, Pornhub. 6 views.
So you've got Winter Soldier with Nightcrawler's power. You've got the last Earthbender. You've got Susan Storm. Susan Storm, she may or may not. She seems to have some sort of water-based powers. She can turn invisible. She can turn invisible in water, but later on she gets a kind of sexy suit.
Oh,
and she can turn invisible at any time. But I think it might moisten her, and that's how she can turn invisible. Anyway, she's like classic Sue Storm. Okay. Blonde, generically attractive. Her powers keep letting her down. And
she has confidence issues.
Yeah, and she spends most of the movie looking terrified.
That's fair.
Because her powers have let her down. And then you have the last guy who was like
my favourite.
the kind of star of the trailer, the Incredible Hulk, but he's also a bear with a minigun.
Which is all Russia's ever really needed in a hero. Not the hero they deserve, but the hero they need.
So at some stage, so the Winter Soldier guy with the teleporting powers, he's air. And the mountain guy is mountain, and Sue Storm is water, and the bear guy is
Gatling gun bear guy.
Gatling gun bear, the 4 classical elements: earth, water, fire, and Gatling gun bear. Yeah. So anyway, right?
Tales all this time.
They have a Nick Fury, but their Nick Fury is a sexy lady.
Oh, a sexy lady.
Yeah, she's a major, even though she couldn't be more than 30. And for some reason, her military uniform.
Not a major.
No, she's probably not.
She's not a major. Not that women can't be majors. Just 30-year-old women would find it very difficult.
Or 30-year-old men.
Or, sorry, it's difficult for both.
Yes. So, for some reason, her uniform includes sexy leather pants and impractical high heels.
My uniform includes sexy leather pants and impractical high heels.
I know, it's very distracting. And then they have the bad guy. And the bad guy is this just generic, muscly guy who's also a super genius, I think.
Excellent. Oh, brains and brawn.
Yeah, and he is kind of somehow responsible for forcing them all together, right? So here's where we're going with this. This is how it leads into Avengers. First of all, when you're dealing with a movie like this, all of the characters, all of their powers had to come from the same origin, because they didn't have breathing room to give them unique origins. So why does one of them turn into a bear with a Gatling gun, and the other one has some sort of vaguely defined teleporting speed powers, and the third guy can turn into the Thing kind of a bit, and then there's a woman who's useless. Okay. So it's a bit weird, right? Okay. Then everything happens really quick. Like we're fed backstory on why they don't like each other and what this bad guy did to them. Okay. And everything's kind of rushed and awful.
Exposition-y.
Yeah, exactly. We hear in the conversation that Bear Man is afraid if he ever turns full bear. That's the Russian translation. It's like, if I ever go full bear, I don't know if I have ability to go back.
Do they have a wonderful Russian story where his mother makes him promise never to go full bear?
Probably, but we didn't get to see it. Right? Okay. And then, like, Winter Soldier Man, he killed his sister. By mistake.
Jesus.
And so they all have these tragic backstories, but it's all delivered in conversation.
Expositional dialogue.
Right? None of that in Avengers.
Wrong.
None of it.
Wrong.
None of it. Because they all have their backstories. They all have their distinctive backstories, which are kind of connected.
For their powers.
And their characters. Because they've all blended together. We saw a 2-hour movie of the Hulk moping around the place, being whiny.
He didn't look like Mark Ruffalo.
No, he was a bit different. He was
Canon.
Ginger Mark Ruffalo. Mark Gingefalo.
Not mopier than the actual Mark Ruffalo.
And more aggressive, I've heard. Anyway.
Yeah, not fun to work with.
Right, and then, so the bad guy, he takes over Russia, and he goes to the top of a building, and he sets up a thing shooting a beam into space.
Of course.
And that
Space beam.
Space beams for the podcast. And that beam is going to help him take over the planet or whatnot. And they all have to team up.
In space for?
Right. right? And they go up onto the space beam. Well, first they get defeated.
By the way, this is the Guardians,
this
not
is not Avengers. So they get defeated.
I feel like that should be pointed out.
They get defeated and they have to team up again to escape, and then they have to make up for all their problems. And then they go up on top of the building, and the bear... Oh, this is the best bit. They start using their powers in tandem to try and fight the thing, the muscly guy. And then he's beating them pretty easily. And then the bear goes, and he turns into a full bear.
He goes full bear.
And the bear jumps at him, and the bad guy jumps at him, and the bad guy knocks the bear out.
No.
After leading the whole movie to that moment.
Full bear always works out.
I know. And he knocks him out with one punch.
This is terrifying.
And then they run away. And they go down, and they learn that if they combine their powers into a blue kind of laser thing, which in no way is connected to earth, wind, fire, or
Gatling gun.
Gatling gun bear. And then they shoot that at him, and that kills him.
It's ridiculous.
And there's even a Wilhelm scream in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Nah.
For anyone that doesn't know, the Wilhelm scream is that same generic henchman scream that you hear in everything. Star Wars has a pretty famous one. All the stormtroopers have one.
It's in almost every movie, at least.
Yeah, the Wilhelm scream. I don't know why it exists. Why does it exist?
Someone in Lucasfilm, I think, heard it once and thought it was pretty funny, and
they just started including
it
as a convention.
I think it's a sound editor's joke.
Little Easter egg.
So anyway, the reason that this movie made me really love Avengers is if we had got Avengers 15 years ago, this movie is shot for shot what it would have been.
So the Guardians is Avengers 15 years ago?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's vital that you watch them with that in mind. Watch Guardians and think, if we hadn't had the build-up of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Joss Whedon, who knows how to handle an ensemble.
He does.
That's what we would have ended up with.
In defense of Joss Whedon.
That is definitely what we would have ended up with. For sure.
And you, Michael, are forever thankful that we didn't end up with that.
Because everything that's wrong with that movie, it's skin of the teeth. Oh, I can't say that. It's skin of the teeth.
Nailed it.
That's what Avengers could have been.
Yeah.
With a bad director, without the build-up.
And that's what superhero movies were, though. Superhero movies I will say that the post-Avengers climate is a much better world for superheroes.
Yeah, for sure.
All pre-Avengers superhero movies were, let's work as a team. Let's do it together.
Oh, we've all got individual issues that we don't really have time to really get into, but let's just say them.
But we'll resolve them.
Yeah.
Because that's how inner demons work for human beings.
Well,
we just say them out loud.
The only two characters who were like that in Avengers were Black Widow and Hawkeye. But even Black Widow, well, Hawkeye, look, I'm willing to accept Hawkeye is the misstep of the movie.
There are several missteps.
There aren't. Okay, wait, your turn. Go on.
Fine.
Go on. No, go on.
So
say something. Say something wrong.
Because you love this so much. I'm actually going to say what's right and what I enjoy about these films, which is a little bit controversial.
Yeah, well, you've missed the point of the episode, I think.
So, first thing I love about the Avengers is that it's based on the Ultimate Comic universe more than it was ever based on the main 616 continuity, which is really, really nice. The entire plot line for the Avengers being brought together is based on Mark Miller's 2000 run on a series called The Ultimates.
Mark Miller from Bray.
Might be from Scotland.
Bray in Scotland? There's a Bray in Scotland.
Is he out there with Garth?
Get out of here, Mark!
So Garth's just there in his Northern Irish accent. And then Mark is then in his Scottish accent. He's talking to me. It was great. So they're both having a little conversation out there, but quite a decent run, very modern take on how a superhero team would probably be put together. It's where you get the whole espionage, government liaison thing from. I think it's quite good. Don't get me wrong, it draws heavily from the Earth 616 for the individual heroes, but the Avengers I think takes from that, so I quite like that.
Black Nick Fury.
Black Nick Fury, that's how we got him. He used to be very, very white. And very, very kind of
Hasselhoffy.
Very good. Hasselhoffy if he forgot to shave. Hasselhoff without a shave. I really, really like Mark Ruffalo. Wonderful.
So do most women.
most women love Mark Ruffalo. I can see why. He's got such a nice way about him.
He's a bit mumbly, isn't he?
He's a bit mumbly, but he's sensitive and charming.
I don't want to turn into Hulk in case I hurt someone.
I think,
get over it.
I think he's swell. I love that Captain America is not a super soldier in the Avengers movie. He's Captain Long Jump. And his powers are entirely jumping based.
Oh, we've gotten to sarcasm now, have we?
You see what I was waiting to do. Actually, no, there are some other great moments in it. There's Hulk versus Thor. That whole wrestle buddy frat bro
punch
thing is gas.
Amazing.
I can't wait to see that again in Thor Ragnarok. Rewatching it this week made me very happy. I love the suit graphics are kind of cool. The Iron Man suits in general, just how they're put on. I know, but I really like them in this one.
When he jumps out the building,
he falls out, he's thrown out of the building.
That should have killed him.
That should have killed him. On a more sarcastic note, I'm going to go back to sarcasm because I have them written down. I love that the entire plot is I know that you know that I know that you know what I'm going to do. Yeah, well, we know that you know that I know that you know. It's just this back and forth of, I know what you're going to do, twist. I still know what you're going to do, twist, which is the entire plot of the movie, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, but I mean, you would almost think that there was a god of mischief involved.
You'd almost think that, but don't you dare use mythology to switch me out of this one. He is the furthest thing removed from a god of mischief that he could possibly be, except for name.
God of mischief.
Except by name.
And all the mischief he causes.
Not giving you that at all. Boo.
There's a lot of mischief.
I love the entire mind-controlled Hawkeye versus Black Widow, because it reminded me of Flashdance or Footloose, because it takes place in a very dark place with lots of lights and it's very dancey, and I affectionately christened that Robin Hood versus Jessica Rabbit in a warehouse. I'm sticking with it.
Hold on, wait a second. Hold on a second. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not. You are being sarcastic.
I am being sarcastic.
Yeah, that was a weak point.
It's a terrible part of the film.
It's not a great bit.
There's a lot of sliding. There's a lot of shots and stuff like that. But the most important thing that I want to point out about this movie... Sorry, I'm going to... Go softer. The most important thing that I want to point out about this movie is that is my highlights reel.
That's the good stuff.
And that is all the Avengers is. It's just a giant highlight reel.
Yeah.
There is no continuity or solid plot driving that movie in any way.
There is.
There is not.
There's
not at all.
That man has the thing that we need to get.
No.
That man has a thing.
No.
The man we don't like has the thing we need.
That movie is literally getting by based on this is a superhero that you love.
Yeah.
There's another superhero that you love.
6 of them.
And they just put them together. It's like, what'll happen? It's like, they don't get on. They get on. And they do that 6 or 7 times with each hero. They just mix them together.
That's great.
No, it's terrible movie making.
No, it's great movie making.
Anyway, please.
Okay, so look, that's great.
That's my first reason for disliking.
Yeah, everything you've just said there is why I like it.
Okay.
Because they come together. The god of mischief gets up to some mischief
in everything but name. Otherwise, he's just an egotistical prat.
Yeah, or
fancies himself a bit of a Hitler.
Oh, you brought Hitler in.
Hang on, the movie brought Hitler in.
6 episodes
in.
The
movie brought Hitler in.
It did.
I didn't bring Hitler in.
It did.
The entire opening confrontation between Captain America, the Senator of Liberty, and the main villain takes part in Dusseldorf, where a man who was born during the Nazi regime takes a stand against the other man.
What an amazing scene.
It's actually not the worst scene in the entire movie, but very preachy.
Yeah, it's so preachy. It's
this
great.
This is another reason that I didn't like it.
But Captain America should be preachy. Then Iron Man arrives, and Iron Man's like, what's this dope saying? And just starts missiling people.
He's very Cold War option, where it's just like, I've got the biggest gun, everybody stand down.
Yeah.
Everybody take it easy. It's fine. I got this.
Yeah. That's your weakest impression.
It is my weakest impression. I didn't have time to practice today. It's my weakest impression.
Yeah, so it's great. Look, here's another thing, Ben. As like I said, anecdote and allegory. Let's go to anecdote.
It's okay, I've got facts.
I'm older than you, as I've mentioned.
Thanks
before.
Slapping me in the face with that one.
Look, when I was but a teen, the only time you ever saw heroes teaming up was in cartoons.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Then, in the late 90s, we got X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Good movie. Doesn't hold up well.
Doesn't hold up well?
No.
Okay.
Getting weak.
Well,
like
it's from another time.
Exactly, right?
From
then we got
time.
X-Men 2. Pretty good. Right? Spider-Man. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Spider-Man
1 and 2.
Spider-Man 2.
Sensing a
Possibly the best non-MCU superhero movie. Even if you include all the MCU superhero movies, that's probably still in the top 5. It's a
Alfred
great
Molina's
movie.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Daredevil, which I love. Unironically, I love Daredevil. I think Ben Affleck was great. I think it was great. It was a great film. The director's cut isn't better though with Coolio, despite what people say. There's the director's cut with Coolio. Coolio didn't direct it. But anyway, right? And all we could hope during that period was to see those characters team up together. My God, Ben. My God. But had I seen Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in a Spider-Man movie, I would have
wept tears of joy.
No, I would have browned my trousers, walked out of the cinema, and just run around telling people. It would have been.
I was going to give you an Alexander quote.
I would have been. Go on.
And Mick wept, for there were no worlds left to conquer. It was just podcast name for this week.
Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair. Is what I would have said.
To see Hugh Jackman in scrawny Wolverine form.
Scrawny Wolverine.
Not Hugh Jackman, buff Hugh Jackman form. With Tobey Maguire.
So it yeah, when you put it like that, it sounds a bit sad.
That's pretty much the aim of my podcast today.
So, I mean, the idea of well-made superhero movies teaming up together, it was a pipe dream, right? An absolute pipe dream. Now, that's what I was watching, and when you, Ben, were the age that I was watching those movies, you got Avengers. See what I'm saying?
So you feel that really just...
What I'm saying is you're looking the gift horse in the mouth. What I'm saying is you're slapping the goose that laid the golden egg. What I'm saying is you are tickling the monkey tree. I've run out of things. You are looking... I can't think of any more. Hold on. You are
the straw that broke it.
You are the straw that broke the camel's back. No, that doesn't make any sense. No,
I just
but
wanted to stop you.
Avengers was seminal. And I don't mean filled with semen. I mean it was a turning point in
superhero cinema history.
In cinema history.
No, boo.
It shook the world. Look at the bloody influx of crappy shared universes we're having to deal with because of Avengers.
Yeah, all because of Avengers.
All because of Avengers.
The Avengers paradigm.
It is just... It's a singularity in the world of superhero films that will never be recreated. You'll never have that excitement of being in the cinema and you're thinking, I'm going to go in and these characters are going to be in a film together. They're going to be in a film together. These characters. And then one of your friends is 20 minutes late and he calls you and said, oh, look, I've had a bit of a problem with the Lewis. I might not make it going. And then you start panicking and
because you won't get to see them.
You won't get to see the characters in the film together. Then that's why I think Age of Ultron
screwed the pooch.
Well, I don't think it did. I don't think it could ever have lived up to Avengers.
To an underrated movie? Overrated movie.
No, you
want to use the term correctly.
No, go on. Hit me with more stuff about
it. There's not much more stuff to hit. I guess the argument is it just doesn't resonate with me as a film. Now, maybe...
because of what I said.
Maybe this is because, like you said, I took it for granted.
Yep.
I took the Avengers for granted.
Give us a metaphor.
I think... I thought I was still wearing a nappy, so I shit my pants, and I wasn't wearing a nappy. That is what taking for granted is. It's like, oh, I can poop wherever I want, and then you're a 4-year-old, and it's like, whoops.
4 when Avengers came out?
Yeah, 4 years old. No, I was not 4. Avengers came out in 2012, for anyone listening.
Yeah, it did.
I was 12.
You see...
No, much older than 12. Sorry, that's completely wrong. Much older than 12.
Ben doesn't know how old he is.
How old am I?
Are you trying to remember your real age or the age of the character you pay on this podcast?
I don't know. I'm 26 now.
What year were you born in?
1991.
Right, you were You were 21.
I was 21 when it came out. So I took it for granted. Maybe. But I don't think so. There are a couple of reasons that I don't like Avengers. Like I said, it's a collection of moments. There's no momentum in this film.
Lots of momentum.
Okay, there isn't momentum at all. The majority of the 2 hour and 24 minute runtime of that film is taken up by a bunch of people using expositional dialogue.
There's no expositional dialogue.
Oh my goodness. How did you get back here anyway? Father sent me back using most of his power. How much of his energy did he have to spend to get you back to your precious little god?
But then that turned out to be irrelevant.
No. That's exposition. It's meaningless dialogue exposition.
Great dialogue.
With no rooted character.
Great dialogue.
No.
That is how Thor and Loki talk to each other.
No.
It's not exposition.
No. Expositional dialogue. Garbage exposition dialogue.
No, it's not. Because the whole thing... Hold on. I've just remembered. The whole point of that expositional dialogue is that it is expositional dialogue. So I'm kind of retracting what I said earlier. Mixed retractions.
Better than Ben's. Sweeter.
But then he says... Thor says something like, I'll show you old bounder. And then Iron Man flies in and hits
him.
Thor away.
Yeah.
And then Loki's standing there and goes, I'm waiting. The whole thing was to set up that moment.
You're a liar.
It's a great moment.
You're a liar. You're an awful liar.
Great moment.
Anyway, zero chemistry in places, but we already touched on that. Black Widow, Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner, God bless him. Chemistry was not his best subject in school.
Or acting.
Or acting in general. Just no.
I think a bit of a miscast.
No. Yeah, huge miscast. Good for Jeremy though. He's breaking in that Avengers money. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. They tried to recast Jason Bourne as him once upon a time. They tried to reboot a franchise with him and it didn't work.
Don't do that.
So yeah, the other thing that I don't like about Avengers, the other big thing, I said no momentum, but the other thing that really jars for me is that there are so many different tones being attempted in that film. Now,
superhero tone.
The smart superhero tone, spy tone, espionage tone. We go back to the fantasy tone with Thor and Loki.
Engaged tone.
Engaged. Oh yeah, because we have that.
No, I'm doing a phone joke.
Oh, it's like
dial
a dial tone. Like a dial tone.
I've ruined that. Sorry, everybody.
Tech tone. Robert Downey Jr. tone. So we had all of that, and they try and smush it all together.
No, they don't try. They do.
No. But then they do it badly. They mush it all together like that food you eat at a friend's house because it's their first time trying in their new apartment. You're like, oh, it's really good.
What's that? Is that a dig?
It's delicious. No. Sorry, Mick occasionally cooks for me in his house, and he thinks that's a dig. That's not what. No, I said in their new apartment. This is not your new apartment.
Fine.
No, it's not that.
Garth, there's a space for dinner. Do you want to come in? No, you're happy enough. He's happy enough out there.
So, the last tone that's brought in is the war tone. All of a sudden, the camera work of that entire film turns into Cloverfield towards the end.
Does it? You get shaky cam?
Yeah, you get shaky cam with Captain America. Captain America does his whole sprint through New York. And
that's shaky great, cam. Isn't it?
It's look, the last 24 minutes of that film, the last half hour, last 30 minutes, solid superhero teamwork, but not really teamwork. Delegation, different roles, different strengths coming together. My favourite moment of all time. That's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry. And then boom, just phenomenal.
Doesn't get knocked out with one punch.
Yeah, because they do tinker with it. Hulk is not his hulkish self on the helicarrier. He seems to be very limited in the room that he's running away from Black Widow in.
Towards.
And then all of a sudden, he just destroys an entire space monolith war machine thing with one punch, and I really like that because I really feel he wasn't used effectively when he was fighting the God of Thunder and stuff like that.
Yeah, because he wasn't that angry.
He wasn't that angry, but then he got real ticked.
Then he got real angry.
And it was like, boom.
He's actually, you know what he smashes in that scene? He smashes the Harrier from Last Action Hero.
Is that the Harrier from Last Action Hero?
Yep. Because they needed a cheap prop that they could smash. Because why would they have a Harrier on the helicarrier? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
They have Quinjets.
They wouldn't have that.
Why do they have one Harrier?
They wouldn't have that.
Just for Hulk to smash.
Just for him to smash up. Yeah, I just think that the jarring tone choice and the lack of momentum, which is hindered mainly by dialogue. Worst one.
Nearly got an F-bomb there.
Is the worst one.
Go on, say fuck.
Is Samuel L. Jackson's fuck. Samuel L. Jackson's push They needed the push. You know this thing he keeps coming back to? They needed the push.
About Coulson.
Yeah, Kobe Smulders is like, sir, those cards were in his locker. And it's like, ooh, oh,
he manipulated
and it worked, and it all panned out. But then you have the rallying cry. They're all heading into the city to save it. And Stark and Loki have a little chit chat in Stark Tower. We're going boom, 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 boom. Oh, we're starting to kick some ass, and then.
But that's a great chit chat.
No, it's a terrible, terrible chit chat.
But we have a hope.
Robert Downey Jr. being like, I need 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. It's in the contract. Let me do it.
Yeah, but that's what Iron Man would do.
No. But it's completely jarring. This is what I mean. From a cinematic, like, filmmaking point of view, you built up all this momentum, you got the push, then you get the payoff. Here it's momentum. Finally building up the push.
Yeah, kick the table.
Hang on, I'm going to pour myself a drink and
yeah, now you're just waiting even more.
A bit cheeky to a gut. No, it's garbage move.
It's a great move. It's a great move. Then he gets thrown out the window and Hulk arrives or something.
I tell you what, not a terrible movie in defense. I just happen to think that it's one of the most overrated superhero movies of all time.
Seminal. One of the most seminal. Does seminal mean that?
No, seminal means key.
Does it also mean full of semen? Like seminal fluid?
I think that's semen based. I don't know if it's seminal fluid.
Oh,
if any doctors are listening.
Yeah, or maybe fertility experts.
Fertility experts would be preferred. But hey, if you're a doctor, you're already more qualified than I am.
People in the porn industry.
If porn stars want to call in, I feel like you'd know. If any porn stars want to be on the podcast, you can't because it's in Mick's home. Okay, you wouldn't like that.
No, she'd probably find us.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the end of this week.
Yeah, excellent. Okay.
Did we pick a title?
We came to no conclusion. I think it's going to be Mick is living in the past and can't move past it. You see that it's kind of a terrible movie. If anyone would like to scream at me on social media and tell me that I'm wrong and that I'm an idiot or anything like that, please feel free. It's perfectly fine by me.
How would they find us on social media?
Well, I guess you'd find us on Twitter.
Yeah.
You can find us on YouTube.
I'm so excited that Ben's doing the bid.
And now, more importantly than ever, you can find us on Instagram, which is my preferred form of social media. So if you want to get in touch with me there, please do.
And tell him that he's wrong.
Give me a hard time.
Tell him that he's wrong.
Go right ahead.
Bye.
Bye.